Farmer, we have Haunted Miniatures, 7 for 1, Pesos 1, Little Ronin, Karu 9, Mew the Cutie 77, 1 Juggernaut, King's Bashman, Ford Fish 42, Muscle Farmer, we have Haunted Miniatures, 7 for 1, Pesos 1, Little Ronin, Karu 9, Mew the Cutie 77, 1 Juggernaut.
You should. Okay, I'll check that. Let me have a look. Bum, 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 bum. Got it. Thanks. Let's see. Looking at that editor commands. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, Holly. There you are. That's a lot of people. I usually have way less viewers. Oh, and yeah, thanks for the follow, everybody. Who's gonna follow? It's probably gonna be a lot of people. Yeah, like you guys know, we're doing the charity stream for Forbes, which I think is a really, really good thing to do as a community, and I'm really happy to be part of that. And thanks for letting me be part of that, especially at Captain Metler for organizing that. And I've prepared a few things. So usually I don't prepare as much for a stream, but I did. So this is one of the miniatures I want to paint up today. Let's see if I can show you that. Okay, it's primed white. That's why it's a bit tricky to make viewable. Let's see if you can get that. Yeah, a bit. So that's one of Sophie the Succubus minis from Reaper. I modified her a bit. And I also want to show you guys a bit about the Aeronautica Imperialis stuff, about the bases, how I do them, because I know a lot of people ask about that. My bot is picky. Yeah, I just added the Nightbot. I'm really sorry if that thing is doing anything that it's not supposed to, because I needed to add it for the giveaways, so that's why it's there. I'll remove it later on. Yeah, so. Oh my god, so many new people. Okay, guys, anybody who's following, there is gonna be a giveaway for everybody who is following. You don't need to be there, which is a tech priest for Warhammer 40k for the Adeptus Mechanicus, which I'm gonna raffle off and then paint up at some point live on stream for the lucky winner. Yeah, like I said, I just added it for that, so it's just for the giveaway there. I'm really sorry if it's modding things, and yeah. Anyways, yeah, thanks for the follow, guys. Really, I appreciate that. But I think it's gonna bing for a while. Yeah. Okay. So I think let's try to start at some point. 2 milestones. Okay, let's do that. Then let's open that. Okay. So that is open. So I hope that works how it should work. So you guys can just type the usual command, !kidney fund, and then you should be part of the giveaway. I'm not sure what we're giving away at the moment. Okay, Geek already posted that. That's good. Fund, kidney fund. Yeah, that's the one. So let's see if that works. I think it is working. And we still have the following things. Okay. At some point I'll start painting once you guys can see what I'm actually gonna do here. And yeah, I'm sorry I can't call you guys out individually. It's just too many. I really appreciate everybody who's following. Let me check if I can change the settings there. Okay, I'm just gonna disable everything for this bot. So I disabled all filters. Let's try again, Geek. Yeah, enjoy the food, Holly, and thanks for the streaming. Okay, perfect. So we got that. Yeah, I just added that because I couldn't figure out how to properly set up the rest of the stream elements. So that's why I added the Nightbot thing. And I think everybody who wants to follow followed. So let's start. So I'm just gonna try to show you the mini again. Let's see. Yeah. So she's the sci-fi Sophie the Succubus, and I basically added the rifle part in front. I think this is kind of working now. Yeah, I prime things white, so that's the issue here with the camera. So the whole rifle thing is added, which is basically just old metal rod and green stuff. So we're gonna paint her, and then we're gonna work a bit on these bases. So I'm gonna show you the process how to do them, and I'll show you the results a little bit. So there's 1, 2. So I know a lot of people were asking how I did those. Can't be better than Tiny Flyers. So I have different ones. They're all kind of the same, but with different paints. So the Orc one, the Imperial Navy one, and the Tau one. So I'm just gonna... So I'm gonna show you guys how to do this, and that's done wet and wet with contrast paints. So no airbrush involved. I do have an airbrush, I use it a lot, but I wanted to do these without the airbrush. And yeah, so this the Orc one is kind of red-yellow with a bolt gun metal thing. The Imperial one is like copper with the ocean blue one, and the Tau got a very, very bright blue one with bronzer and a bit cleaner than the Imperials. Forbes, I'm honored to be part of this, and I think that's a really good thing to do these kind of things, and everybody deserves a fair chance, you know. Yeah. So this is how the bases will look after we pull them out and actually prime them, and I'll show you as well which parts to prime and not to prime, because that's a bit tricky as well. And yeah, let's just go with that for starters. So what you want to do is actually have a tool that's very thin. So I use one of my modeling tools for green stuff and stuff like that actually as well. And you basically don't want to do this, which a lot of people do, but that's putting much too force on the plastic. Actually, what you want to do is like fry it a little bit in between here, and there's like three sides where you want to do that. One is the bottom side. When you have a wheel, and then that's the next side, this one is not, and this one is again. So it's like empty side you want to pry, no side you want to pry, wheel side, and side you want to pry. What you do is just this, and you just go to the next side, pop this open, and the last one is usually then a bit more tricky. So here you might need to use some force, and I would strongly advise not to use a knife, because with a knife you will cut into the plastic. There we go, that's it, popped open. Next thing to do is just pop the wheels out, and wheels are basically, you have one with 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, and the other up to 9, and then you have 1 to 0 with up to 5. So that's basically that. I advise you guys to put the wheels into like a little Ziploc bag so you don't lose them. And that's it. And once you have that, I prime with an airbrush, and I have some prime base prep, so I don't have to do that on stream. Hey Osgold, how are you? And yeah, so and let's have a look if the giveaway is working with entering. Giveaways. think, did it pick a winner? I'm good, trying to figure out that the giveaway is actually working. I think I cancelled the giveaway. I'm not sure what's happening here. Why is that not working? It worked before when I tried it. Okay, and let's try to roll it again. Giveaways. So, keyword. Okay, and so we have that, and let's do that. Keyword is there. Okay, let's roll that. Okay, so I think it should be running now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so I have Geekin Out Gaming here, Kaushini, Karos 9. So I think you guys have to enter it now, and when I can click roll it, that's how it works. Okay, figured it out. Yeah. Basically, I have very few commands. It's basically just the kidney fund. So that should work now. So if you guys can just enter that, and then we'll roll that. So that's how it works apparently. Yeah, what did I want to do? Yeah, so these spaces are gonna be for my Imperial Navy flyers actually. So that's some of these. You might start painting some of those later on as well. Those are the ones I built, so some Valkyries and Vendettas. And let's see if that works. Yeah, that works. So guys, enter now, and then we'll roll in, I'd say, in 9 minutes. And I have Dice Femist, Fort Fitch, Beef in the Hole, Kaushin.de, Geekin Out Gaming, Karos 9, K-Source, Osco Times, Crosto 4DYX, K-Source 1, Haunted Miniatures. Okay, perfect. So that's definitely working now. So yeah, at 5:30 my time, I think that's 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. We'll pull the winner, and then we'll do the next one soon after that. And yeah, thanks for the follow, Beef in the Hole. And yeah, so let's start doing that, and I'll explain my process on the bases basically as I go. So what I do is, with the contrast paints, I use basically a base color, so I use them more as glazes and washes than in the intended way by GW. So I usually use one of the high opaque colors, but you can use a base color from GW or whatever, like a high opaque color basically. And I think let's do for the navy. What paint are we gonna do? I think we did already orange, so red is gonna be very dark, but let's do that. Let's use red. So I'm gonna go with a heavy red from Vallejo, from the game, extra opaque range, and it's a 72141 for anybody who's interested. (11:30 p.m. Central). Yeah, the time zones are getting to me. I mean, I used to be quite good with the different time zones because I worked very internationally, not only in Europe, but in the US as well. Last year I spent about almost 3 months in Texas and Austin. And the years before it was in New York and Seattle and Washington. And, yeah. But since Corona, I'm no longer traveling and no longer working at the moment, so the whole time zone part is it slipped me a bit, so I'm completely out of the loop there. So yeah, you guys can see red, which is usually a tricky color to get a covering layer, and I've actually thinned this down with water. It's covering quite well on white, so that's why I really like the extra opaque colors from Vallejo. So I'm a huge fan of those. I'm waiting on some scale 75 paints now, but yeah, we'll see how those are. I like the Reaper ones as well, and some of the Citadel range I really enjoy using as well. And yeah, unfortunately you don't really get the Reaper paints here in Europe. I've used them a bit in the past. They're fantastic as well, but yeah, I mean, I can't buy them. To be honest, I can't really buy Vallejo locally as well. I have to order those as well, so only stuff I get locally is GW and Army Painter, and I hate Army Painter. Okay, I'm trying to read the chat as well. My skeletal lover is doing great. Thanks for asking. Okay. How have you been before the whole... The Triforce. Okay. Only thing where I know Triforce from is Zelda. And I have to switch the music back on in a moment. I was playing the wrong playlist, which is not DRM3, and I have actually a DRM3 one set up. So let's do that. So you guys don't only have to listen to my voice, which I actually have heard is apparently nice to listen to, but I heard that from other people. I don't agree with that, but yeah. I mean, why not? Okay. So we have some music. Yeah, thanks, Geek. I mean, nothing beats your voice, but I love when you do the marbles thing. Just the commentary is worth going there. But yeah. Yes, exactly, Captain Matloff. That's the one. That's the ones. And there's actually, I tried different gloss varnishes from the Vallejo ranges because there is difference between those as well. And that's the ones I use. So let this one dry a bit, and because I have some more paint there, I'm gonna do some more. Yeah, and the best one I found for this kind of heavy glassy effect is the one from the game color range. I tried doing it with the one from the mecha color range as well, but that one is much less shiny and much less thick. So it's actually worth trying different gloss varnishes and matte varnishes from the different ranges as well for different effects. But I wanted to go for like one of these old CRT monitor effects, which had this like heavy shiny glass kind of optics on that. So that's the thing why I used that. So because like the whole 40K, it's just gritty and old and used and not as high tech, more like functional tech. I want to say, like very very Cold War style tech, like. Yeah, except for the Tau very high tech. They have a bit of a Gundam look to them. That's why I painted mine up very bright. I'll show you that. And yeah, 2 more minutes, guys. Get in. There's only like 12 users in. So yeah, that's the Tau. So they look more orange. The camera doesn't. I can't get it with a color range properly. So look at the Instagram stuff. Where it's much better from a picture. It's in the panels. There's a slideshow, so you can just scroll in there. You don't have to open another window or leave the stream. You can just scroll a bit down to the panels and then scroll within the little Instagram window, and there should be the newest pictures, should actually be the Tau flyers. I don't have close-ups for their bases yet, but I might do that. But yeah, I thought I show the things people actually liked that I did, so yeah. I mean, GW says you should put the contrast paints basically on a white, gray, or beige primer. But like I said, I use them mainly as glazes and washes. I did the pin washing on the Tau flyers as well with a contrast paint with Yanton Yellow, which I think we're gonna use here as well for the red. And yeah. Yeah, I put a lot of paint on the palette, so we're just gonna do a few bases in red, and then we can go through that process. And I hope that's something you guys like. And yeah, I mean, I think the number Holly and Orcris got together is pretty much unbeatable money-wise. I mean, it was like, what, $2.5 grand, which is fantastic. And it's amazing to be part of this community and see this community come together. And I mean, like, it's the best online community I've ever been a part in. It's this Twitch stream, miniature painting streaming community. Everybody is nice to each other and helpful, and people are like freely giving tips and these kind of things. And it's so lovely to see coming all these people together for a good cause. And I hope I don't hope there's causes like this where we need to do it, but I hope we can get together for causes. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't want anybody to be sick, so, but I mean, if we can do stuff to help people or animals or anything like environmental or whatever, I think we should do that. We should use the skills we have, the artistic stuff we can do, and we should do that for good things if possible. Yeah, I might actually do gold for the Astra Militarum stuff here, because it's a reddish tone. I try to stay with the tones of the colors, so that's why I did the bronze one. I don't know if it's actually quite good viewable. So these are the ones for the Tau, And you can see if I move it around, you can see it glistening as well. So that's the effect we're going for. And yeah, I did the bronzer because it has like a green tintish for the toe, because I wanted to get there even more bluish than with the Imperial Navy ones. And here I use bronzer because it's a bit darker, and I have the gritty stuff here as well. And for the orcs, I went actually with bolt gun, which contrasts nicely with the yellow-orange stuff here. So that's that. And yeah, those are all metals from the Vallejo range. Is mainly the game color. The bronzer is actually from the mecha color range. I really like the mecha colors. They're fantastic. They're very bright, but they're not glossy. So they're like fantastic for stuff where you want to have like vibrant paints, but don't want it to look glossy, which you have a lot of times with vibrant paints actually. And they do pretty much the best neon paints I've used so far. And yeah, I think I'm actually gonna do some neon hair. Don't know if I might do green on the Sophie the Succubus mini. Drawing, yeah, good. That's a good call. Let's do the drawing. So let's roll it. And Fort Fitch 42. You've won. Should show up. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, he just did. Captain, just above you. Yeah, so yeah, guys, anyways, thank you all for being here, and there is the link. If you type !charity, you have all the information you need to donate if you want to donate. There's instructions as well if you for PayPal and for Facebook. If you don't want to use Facebook, you can use PayPal to directly send the money, I think. And yeah. And if anybody is thirsty, you can try out our very own bar if you type !drinks and then follow the instructions. Okay, so I'm just gonna do all of them because I have so much paint there, and I think the first one should be dry in a moment, so we can start doing the contrast paints. Okay, so that's not on me because I think that's a setting on everybody's profile, so that should not be my bot. Yeah. Yeah, I know Holly and Orchrist exhausted you guys already with the whole charity stuff. I mean, like I said, they did a fantastic job. Not hoping to get anywhere near that amount, but every little helps. So if you can spare $1 or $2, that is appreciated. If you can't, that's completely fine as well. Just being here, that helps bring this whole thing up on the Twitch algorithm. So the more active you guys are, the better for that. The more people we can hand off to the next streamer in about 2.5 hours, the better as well. And yeah, thanks everybody again for being here and being such lovely people. It's a fantastic experience. I really love being part of that. So let me just get that a bit. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Hey Nyan Cat, hey Melite. And yeah, special thanks to Melite, who's offering this 15% discount in their online store during this charity. So that's a fantastic thing to do as well, because if I got that right, the proceedings from those sales will all go to the charity as well. So do check that out. And yeah, treat yourself and do something good. All at the same time. And yeah, if anybody is working on something or wants to share something they recently worked on, feel free to share a link. That should work, unless the Nightbot thing is doing something against that, because usually I actually allow link in my chats, because I think we should share stuff, and I was lucky enough until now to not have any bad things happen. So I hope to keep that up, but well, we know how the internet is. But for now, it's open. So if you work on something, feel free to share that. Share your Instagram link, and yeah, shout yourself out, guys. That works as well. There's a exclamation mark SO and your username. It should shout out your Twitch channel. Or just post the link directly, that's fine as well. Share the love, you know. And I like seeing other people's things as well, so I will have a look at those things as well. Sometimes later, sometimes immediately, but yeah. I enjoy seeing other people's miniatures. I can get lost in that too. So we'll try to concentrate on painting tonight from my end, but share your things. Share the stuff you're doing, share your creativity. Especially in the times we live at the moment, I think there's nothing more important than art and being creative and sharing that. Doesn't have to be miniatures. I mean, it's nice if it is miniatures, but if you do something else, share that as well. Like the German miniature painting community we're building up at the moment, we have somebody who's doing stitching. She does like Zelda and whatnot stitching. It looks fantastic. So it's basically pixel pictures. And we have somebody who does miniatures, but not like tabletop miniatures, but more like cute chibi-like miniatures with Fimo, and she paints them up as well. So there's lots of people painting, lots of people writing. I mean, I write as well sometimes, but at the moment it's mainly lyrics and German, so I don't know how many of you can appreciate German lyrics, so I'm not gonna start citing those. But if anybody is interested in that, there is a few on my Instagram. People did not like them as much as miniatures, so I stopped posting them there, but there is one or two there. And otherwise there's a few things on the GMPC Discord there as well, which is a German Discord for German miniature painting, but feel free to join that if you want and check the things there out. There's a lot of German language streamers there. Some are very, very talented, doing a lot of different things. The Warhammer 40k tank is there as well. He does have his own Discord as well. So we're almost done with the red. Just 2 more bases, and then we'll continue on that. And yeah, I hope you like what I'm doing. If you're all not interested in the bases and stuff, let me know and we'll do something else. But I thought it's a good thing, because a lot of people actually asked how I did those. I thought let's do that then on stream. Let's use this. And the few things I can teach, I'm happy to teach. I mean, I'm not as good as most of you guys, but I try. Yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to be very thin with the layers here, and that's another nice thing about the opaque paints. Even with red and yellow and stuff, you can use thin layers even on a white primer without having the red turn pinkish and these kind of things. So that's why I prefer those. And yeah. I mean, you notice I'm a huge fan of the Vallejo paints. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just like the paints. That's all. There's other good painting companies as well. I mean, even some of the Citadel paints are really nice. Except for the pots, they are actually among the better ranges. But yeah, the pots are shitty. I refill mine. Yeah, so the red is empty, so we'll just leave the last base there. I can do that later. Okay, so I think this one was the first. So, and for the contrast paints, I actually advise not to use a wet palette. That's why I actually use 2 palettes. So I'm using, for the contrast paints, I'm just using this one, which is one from Artis Opus. And I think what I usually do is like using 2 of or 3 of the contrast paints. So we're definitely gonna use the Yandan Yellow from the contrast range. And like I said, they're refilled into dropper bottles. And I think we want to use a red. So let's see if we have one here, or if I have to grab one. Yeah, let's use the Blood Angels red one. So. Yeah. Don't be too shy, and that's why I do batch painting, so I can actually, without a bad conscience, put a lot of paint into the palette. And you actually want to have all these paints at the same time already on the palette, because it's kind of a wet and wet blending mix between glaze and wet and wet. I'm trying to clean up the brush a bit more here. Okay, let's do that then. Let's open another giveaway. Okay, so that's open. If you type the same command, so exclamation mark kidney fund, then you should get entered. And we have K-Sauce is entered. Get that here, and thanks for the follow, Big J Customs. And yeah, okay, that's a lot more follows than I started tonight with. It's very much appreciated. So let's get back to painting, and guys, don't forget to enter while we do that. And let's see, I think we'll have that for maybe 15 minutes, so 5 minutes past the next full time. And Neon Cat is there as well, and Kawashini X2 Fury X, I hope I pronounced that correct. Kaioshin, he's there as well. So only 6 people so far. Okay, so, and I usually do the darker paint outside, so we'll just add a good amount of the Blood Angels red here. Don't be shy with that, because we actually need a lot of paint to mix that up. And then we'll take the young yellow here. And then we'll just pull that into each other. My advice is to pull from the lighter paint into the darker paint, because otherwise you'll just darken it down to the start. And basically we do that at every point, so you can basically just put a splotch of yellow in each bottom here, and we forgot to do that, but that's not that big. I can do that later. I'll show you that on another base again, so don't worry if you missed that. We'll just add a lot of red now. And then we'll just pull that again into each other. And that is basically that. So this one needs to dry now, so we'll put that to the side, and we'll just grab the next one. Hey, painting after midnight. Yeah, we're getting the German guys now in It's very early for them. But I told them, you got to come, you got to sacrifice your Sunday morning. Do that, have a nice breakfast, join the stream, do something good. So guys, if you type !charity, also Leute, wenn ihr !charity eingebt, dann kriegt ihr die Informationen, worum es geht und wo ihr Geld geben könnt. Es geht über PayPal und Facebook, so it's possible to do that via PayPal and Facebook. Yep. So that should work. And for everybody who's just joined, we have a lot of very cool giveaways from Captain Madlove. She's doing that. So if you type !Kidney Fund, also wenn ihr Ausrufezeichen Kidney Fund eingebt, dann nehmt ihr an dem Giveaway teil. Gibt sehr, sehr viele coole Sachen zu gewinnen. Und das Einzige, was ihr machen müsst, ist teilnehmen. So the only thing you gotta do is actually participate. It's completely free, you don't need to buy tickets or anything. And yeah, feel free to share the love. If you donate via Facebook and stuff, feel free to share that as well. And every little helps. And if you don't want to donate, that's completely fine. I know there's hard times for a lot of people at the moment. So just watching and being active helps, because that brings up the streams on Twitch, on the algorithm. So that's definitely something you can do as well to help, is just watch and chat. That is very helpful as well, and we all appreciate that. So, and you see, this is actually quite a quick technique. I mean, it's not as quick as airbrushing, but with airbrushing you probably want to tape everything off and here and there. Not everybody has an airbrush, but you can get like 2 or 3 of these contrast paints very cheaply. I mean, cheap compared to an airbrush, RGW paints, but you know what I mean. So it's a nice alternative if you don't have an airbrush and you want to have like nice paint effects done very easily. That is usually a bit more tricky, because you have to thin down the paints and use mediums and whatnot if you want to do it properly, at least. And yeah, I think we'll start doing something else for a bit now, because these need to dry a little bit. I mean, usually I do batch painting, but I don't want you guys to get bored here. So we'll just leave these 4 we did now, and the other ones. So this is the state up until now, and this is how we started, and that was that. So that's the steps we've basically taken so far. Let me just put that a bit more here into perspective. So put those to the side, and this is the current step where we are at. So if you do this in batch painting wise, it is actually quite quick. So don't do the Twitch talk on top of that. Yeah, no worries, Geek, no worries. Thanks, and have a nice nap, and I'll catch you later. For 1.5 hours. Okay, so we'll do that. Yeah, we're doing that in 1.5 hours. So that should be, yeah, half an hour before I turn over the stream. Okay, so let's do some painting on her. And I'm definitely gonna go with purple for her wings, because I love purple, and for the first purple I use heavy opaque, heavy violet game color. Yeah, new meta design. Thanks for joining, and have a good night's sleep. And I'll catch you later, maybe in another stream, I guess. Take care. Yeah, and guys, wherever you are, grab something to drink, grab something to eat, grab something to paint. Especially if you're in Europe, it's almost breakfast time for most of you. So grab a coffee, grab tea, grab a juice, make yourself a smoothie, whatever you fancy. And like I said, if you're working on something or just recently worked on something, feel free to post a link to that and show that off and share the love. And yeah, we're doing this stream, if anybody hasn't noticed yet, to help Forbays out a bit, because he needs a kidney transplant and he needs to cover the costs for a live donor, basically, because insurance is not covering a few things like loss of income for the time, childcare, travel costs, these kind of things. So we're trying to raise the money, and the guys before me did a tremendous job, and we're over 6,000 US dollars. We still have a bit to go. So if you can spare anything at all, I'd appreciate it tremendously. If you just type ! charity, you get the information how to donate. It's possible via Facebook and via PayPal. And if you can't, that's completely fine as well. I know the times are harsh for some people. So just being here, chatting, being active, sharing the stuff, that helps a lot as well, because it helps bring up the stream on Twitch and the algorithms, and when it gets shared and seen by more people. And yeah, Captain Medlov started the stream on Friday night European time, and it's running in total for 48 hours. There's a lot of very, very talented people, much more talented than I am. Yeah. And guys, do check out each other's projects and things. Share the love. Locomotives, okay. Like model trains, or yeah, go for it. Start painting, share the love. Okay, so that's the first purple stuff on the wings, almost done. First purple layer, I want to say. Okay. That looks good so far. I'm gonna switch brush now. We're gonna do some metal parts, and I'm gonna use the gunmetal. It's really called that, gunmetal. From the game color range. It's basically the old bolt gunmetal from GW. 1 AM for you. For me, it's 6 AM now. That's the time differences, my friend. Alexa, stop doing shit. Yeah, Alexa and me, that's a love-hate relationship. Little spy at home. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the thing is, she's like interpreting a lot of things as Alexa that are not Alexa, and yeah, it's just like, but I mean, I mainly use her for music and asking for the weather, anyways. Sometimes for audiobooks. I usually like actually to listen to audiobooks a lot while I paint, but when you stream on Twitch you can't do that because of copyright, and we don't want that, do we? Okay. And yeah, I do lick my brushes before everyone comments on that, but I wash them before I lick them. Okay, I think for the hair color I'm gonna go with a green one. So we're gonna do that now, and I'm actually gonna start with a heavy gray from the Vallejo Opaque range, because that is like an orcish green, but it's a nice foundation, and we're gonna layer that up to a bit of neon look. Yeah, I think you have like 4 different names you can give her. Like computer is definitely one, Alexa is one. There's like 2 other ones if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, she is actually my music system here in the office paint area / living room. Dublin is very expensive, so apartments are small. But yeah, I have an Echo Dot in the bedroom as well, so I like to listen to music, and it's very good to do some ocean noises and things like that as well. And there's an alarm clock, so basically glorified radio clock. Yeah, the original series is definitely the best. Our TUS was fantastic effect-wise when it came out. I mean, it was the 80s. I watched that as a kid. I actually watched the original series after the Next Generation. I still like the original series a bit more. I did like the Picard series on Amazon. That one was quite good. Well, not really Star Trek, but like most of the newer Star Trek stuff is not the classic Star Trek. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me a lot, but I did like the Enterprise series of Captain Archer. Like I said, I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for that. But I have friends, and they're still my friends, yes, who do like the episode 1 to 3 from Star Wars, which is way worse if you ask me. So, guys, who hasn't yet entered the raffle? There's very few people in the raffle at the moment. And it's still running for a few hours. Yeah, the original series was 60s, but I grew up in the 80s and I watched the Next Generation in the 80s. And I watched the original series after that. Oh, Germany always has issues, still has issues to this day. I mean, there's still a few episodes you can't show on TV from Star Trek. The famous Nazi planet ones. They were actually prohibited to be shown in Germany. And I'm not totally sure if they still are, but they were still in the early 2000s. Yeah, they cut the end a bit short on the Enterprise one because they cancelled the show, and that was a bit tragic. But in general, it was quite a good series. I liked it. A lot of people hate it for whatever reason. But I think it was much closer to the original series than anything that came after or before that. I do like Voyager. I do like Captain Janeway. But that was very, very militaristic in certain aspects. I mean, they basically turned the ship into a warship. Gonna put a lot of rust on this thing later on, but for now let's start with a bit of metal. Never watched Enterprise. Ah, you missed out on a few really good things. I mean, they had a lot of episodes actually asking moral questions, like in the older Star Trek stuff. I really liked that, but they did have a whole story arc pretty much. Like, it was very, very consistent. Like, you always had some kind of story arc going through the different episodes. Like, not all, but like I'd say 80% of them, which was really nice. I like that. I was not like episode of the week with enemy of the week with a girl of the week. I mean, I like the original series, but it was like literally like love interest of Captain Kirk of the week. yeah, the Mirror Universe episodes in Enterprise were really good. I'm not really fond of the most recent series, the Discovery one, but I did like the Mirror episode. They were actually not bad. I wish they would make a series just set in the Mirror Universe. That would be fucking fantastic. Very dark, but fantastic. So, I think we can do some skin tones now as well. Skin tones. Where do I have put you? Where did I put my skin tones? There's one. Yeah, 7 of 9. What's yeah. It's in anime it's called a fan service episode. That was 7 of 9. But they did a lot of good things with her in the Picard series actually. I think they really built up her character. And I mean, I'm a guy, I liked watching her in Voyager, but yeah. Ooh, thanks for the follow, Fabled Grim. Just thinking if I'm gonna give her the typical female armor with a uncovered belly, but yeah, let's do that. I mean, she's kind of a pin-up miniature, so let's go for that. Okay. Hey Troll, how are you? Hallo Troll. Wir machen einen Charity-Stream für alle, die jetzt auf Deutsch da sind. Wenn ihr Ausrufezeichen Charity eingebt, es geht darum, für jemanden, der eine Nierentransplantation, eine Lebensspende braucht in den USA, Geld zu sammeln für den Lebensspender, weil nicht alle Kosten gedeckt sind. Ihr könnt es über PayPal oder Facebook machen, wenn ihr wollt. Wenn nicht, ist auch gut. So guys, for everybody who joined, this is a charity stream. We're trying to collect some money for a fellow painter in the US who needs a kidney donation, and not all the costs for the live donor are covered by the insurances. So we're trying to collect the money there to cover loss of income, childcare, travel costs, whatever. And that's the reason we do this. Das ist der Grund, warum wir heute hier sind. Und yeah, I'm gonna switch a bit to German now for you guys, but I'm still gonna do both. So the stuff I say in German, I'm gonna say in English. And thanks for the follow, Nerd House Minis. And yeah, guys, if you're painting something, feel free to share that. Also Leute, wenn ihr gerade an irgendwas malt oder gerade gemalt habt, teilt das. Links sind offen, links are open. Feel free to share your Instagram. Feel free to share links to pictures. Shout out yourself with your Twitch account. Also shoutet euch ruhig selbst mit euren Twitch Accounts aus. Ausrufezeichen SO, Exclamation Mark SO, and then your name. Ja, bei euch ist ja noch nicht ganz so früh wie bei uns. Ich bin ja auch schon ein bisschen hier. Ja, das andere, was ist, wir haben ein Raffle für ein paar sehr, sehr coole Sachen. Der läuft noch 1,5 Stunden. So, guys, we still have a raffle going. So, if you type Exclamation Mark Kidney Fund, also wenn ihr Ausrufezeichen Kidney Fund eingebt, dann nehmt ihr teil. Und der Draw ist in ungefähr einer Stunde. So the draw is gonna be in roughly an hour, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, thanks for the following, Janine Vision. And a raid from Rainer72. Oh my god, thank you so much, Rainer. We're doing the charity stream here from Captain Medlove for 4x, so we're trying to collect some money for him for live kidney donation. And yeah, there's a giveaway as well, so if you type exclamation mark kidney fund, you're gonna be in a raffle. That's all you have to do. It's completely free for everybody. And otherwise, if you want to donate for that, there's the option to do that via Facebook and PayPal. I think the link just got posted, the message. And yeah, welcome to the stream. I'm doing basically two things. I'm painting a bit on this slightly modified Sophie the Succubus and her sci-fi outfit. So I have like partially four colors, the base paints on her. And the other thing we did a bit earlier is I was explaining how to pop these bases open properly without destroying them. Then the next step was which parts of them to prime. So basically the tops and the sides, but not the inlay, because you don't need to do that, and it will actually interfere with the wheels. And then I'm showing basically how I do these kind of bases with wet contrast paint technique. So these are the Orc ones, these are the ones for the Imperial Navy, and these are the ones for the Tau I did. If you move them around a bit, you can see the glistening. So it's only on the areas which are actually like screen. And so this is the base paint, and these are the ones which have a layer of 2 contrast paints already on them. You can see the difference. It will pop out much more once the gloss varnish is over, so that's the next step, which we might still do on stream. But at the moment we're painting her. So yeah, no worries. That's very appreciated. Feel free to shout out yourself, exclamation mark SO, and then your name. And guys, leave Rainer a follow. He's an amazing painter as well, and a really nice streamer, really good to watch. I do that way too rarely. I'm sorry about that, but yeah. And there's the link. Thanks for shouting out him, Nyan Cat. Much appreciated. And yeah. And I'm just thinking which paint I'm gonna give her butt, basically her pants, but it's mainly her butt here. We have a green-purple theme going. So I'm actually thinking a very, very dark red, and that's, I think, what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna use a bit of heavy charcoal, because that's not too black, it's more like a grayish color. And roughly triple the amount of red. And for the red I'm using, for the first layer, I'm always basically going with a heavy red from Game Color or Park. And yeah, right now, if you're still here, feel free to share what you were painting today. Feel free to share links to your Instagram and whatnot, guys. And welcome, everybody. And yeah, don't forget to join the Kidney Fund giveaway. ! Kidney Fund. Also Leute, vergesst nicht dem Giveaway beizutreten. ! Kidney Fund. I'm gonna do that giveaway in about an hour. Bit less actually now, but around about. And yeah, if you can give even a little, that's much appreciated. Facebook, PayPal is open for that. And would be lovely if you can spare $1 or $2 or more. It's completely up to you. Holly and Orcris Gaming, who were on the stream duty before me, they did a fantastic amount. They almost did $3,000 US. So I'm not hoping to be near that at all. I'm realistic, but yeah, it's a real number, and I'm so glad we have this community. And this community being so lovely, coming together for these kind of things. And me having the possibility to be a part of that is just hands down fantastic. And I can't say enough how honored I am being allowed to be a part of that. So we got a very, very dark red here. We're gonna highlight a few things later on. And, I think it works nice with the purple and green color scheme we're going for. Slowly getting there. So I think you guys can see a bit more of a paint scheme now. Let's see if we can get that a bit. The camera doesn't like the white primer, but you can see the parts that are already painted. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink because my voice is dying down a little bit by now. Yeah, green with purple is fantastic. Purple goes with so many colors. It's really good with gray as well. With orange. Orange and purple go well. And another really nice combination is actually pink, gray, and purple. And yeah, I used to paint much more gritty, but I'm getting into like a stage where I like bright paints. Probably because I'm getting older, my eyesight is going away a bit. So, yeah. Hey Matty the First. Ja, ich streame früh. Wir machen ein Charity-Stream. Da geht es um eine Nierenlebenspende, Geld zu sammeln. Das ist ein Maler in den USA, ein Painter. Und es geht darum, dass wir Geld sammeln für seinen Lebensspender, also für Reisekosten, Verdienstausfall, Kinderbetreuung. Du findest die Links dazu auf Facebook und auf PayPal. Es gibt auch ein Giveaway. Wenn du Ausrufezeichen Kidney Fund eingibst, dann nimmst du da teil. So again, guys, I just told him in German what we're doing, why we're streaming here, and how to donate money, and how to participate in the giveaway. And that's completely unrelated. So with the giveaway, also mit dem Giveaway könnt ihr einfach teilnehmen. Ihr müsst da nichts machen, nichts zahlen, nichts spenden. Einfach nur halt Ausrufezeichen Kidney Fund. So guys, you don't have to donate anything for the giveaway. It's just exclamation mark Kidney Fund. And yeah, so even if you, because I know the times are hard, ich weiß, dass die Zeiten für einige Leute hart sind. Selbst wenn ihr zuschaut und chattet, so only if you chat and watch and view, that helps already for these kind of streams, because it brings up the stream into the Twitch algorithms. Also es bringt dann tatsächlich bei Twitch in den Algorithmen die Streams nach oben. Also wenn ihr nichts geben könnt oder wollt, aus welchen Gründen auch immer, wenn ihr einfach zuschaut und aktiv im Chat seid, das ist schon eine große Hilfe. So, if you only watch and chat, that's already a big and tremendous help, which we appreciate. Zoom ein bisschen rein. I'm gonna zoom in a bit more so you guys can see a bit better what's going on. So up until now we have silver on the gun, we have a purple on the wings, we have a green on the hair, we have a red on her pants, and she's actually a model designed by Werner Glocke for Reaper miniatures, so she's the sci-fi Sophie the Succubus. And I modified the weapon quite heavily, so it's normally like a short Uzi style gun, and I basically added the whole rifle part in front, so that's all done in with a metal rod and green stuff and whatnot. Because I like sniper guns. Okay, then we'll keep it in English. I know there's a few guys who are not that good with their English, so that's why I do bilingual. I usually stream in bilingual as well, so for all the guys in English watching now, I usually do stream in both languages anyways. So feel free to drop in whenever you want, and just let me know that you're there, because a lot of the people watching me are German, and that's why I tend to talk more in German at the moment, but if you're there and let me know, I'll do both. And yeah. And guys, like I said, if you work on something or recently worked on something, want to share that, feel free to share links to that. Feel free to shout out yourself, including your Twitch channels, that's completely fine with me. Share the love, share the links. Crotchetting, yeah, perfect. Perfect. I have a few ladies in the German miniature painting community who do that. Troll's wife, stitching, that she does stuff like that as well. She does stitching. But feel free to share that. I mean, like, everything that's creative is fine with me. It's good if it's miniature tabletop related, but it doesn't have to. Yeah, no worries, Forbes. Very cool. I mean, if you could let us know where the donations stand at the moment, that would be, I think, interesting. I mean, probably not much further from what Holly and Orcrist handed over. But yeah, so far it's going smoothly. I mean, we had some issues with the raffle at the start and the Nightbot muting people, but we got rid of that issue very early on, so it's all good at the moment. At some point I'm gonna get a new camera which is doing the autofocus stuff, but at the moment I can't afford that, so I have to do with this 12-year-old DSLR, which I usually use for photography, but I think it's okay picture-wise, usually. So, I think I'm gonna start a bit of highlighting on the hair. So what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna still use this paint. I still have that on the wet palette, and I'm actually just gonna highlight a bit with bone white. And I advise, if you do highlighting, use off-whites. Even grays, anything is basically better than a straight white for getting a color to be a bit more lighter, a bit brighter. The off-white, I mean, with red it tends to turn it purple and these kind of things. So you're usually better off using any off-white or gray. And for red, I don't know, actually for red, probably something ochre. Oil washes, that's something I'm staying away from for now. At some point I have to do something with that. I mean, I do it sometimes for like Terran and things like that and weathering effects, but in general I'm afraid to put oil on my miniatures. I'm usually like the guy advocating for try things out and change things up and get out of your comfortable zone, especially while painting. But the oil stuff, I don't know. I'm afraid of it. So. And I think we're gonna do a bit something on the purple. So I'm gonna darken down a few parts, and I'm actually gonna use the Hexed Lition from the Vallejo game color range. Shaking. And that's stuck, so we need to put something through. Don't squeeze the bottles. I know a few people starting out, they have issues with the bottles, with the dripper bottles in general. If it doesn't come out, never squeeze. Just take a needle or a paper clip, bend that open and just push that through. And that will actually help you get the paint out. Otherwise you might just splurge the whole bottle open. Gonna go inside and set. guys can see what I'm doing there. I think so, yeah. Yeah, thanks for joining, Fort Fitch, and again congratulations for the win. He won the first raffle we did, courtesy to Holly and Orcris. Second one is from them basically as well. They did collect so much money. They did a fantastic job. They collected like almost $3,000, I think. So that was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, you might notice I'm actually darkening down the parts that are on the lower end. So this is actually like reverse highlighting, basically what I'm doing now. And I'm actually gonna put highlights on that as well. And in the end, we're just gonna do a bit of glazing over those areas. So this is basically the darkening down part, and I'm gonna add some highlights now. And for the highlights, I'm actually gonna use a bit of somber gray, and I'm gonna mix that into the purple on that palette. And again, we need to pop that open. Yeah, and I don't want to think about prices. I mean, when I started the GW stuff, you got like 10 times amount the miniatures for the money, at least. I mean, who remembers the box with 2 Land Raiders for £10? I do. Or the first regiment boxes for Warhammer Fantasy I bought, they had actually something about 20 figurines in them, so 20 skeletons and a metal command unit, and you got the regimental base, and all that was together maybe yeah, €12, around that. So about $15. That was the late 90s, so yeah, it's gotten expensive. But I mean, I used to be a poor student, and usually I work nowadays, except for the Corona stuff. Corona did not help with the whole work situation, but yeah, in general, I mean, we all grew up, we all have much more money nowadays, or we should. Not everybody does, unfortunately, especially in current situation, but yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. I mean, I'm so happy I have this hobby, and like I said, this community is just freaking fantastic. So this is basically all the paint I'm gonna do on the wings. I'm just gonna put a wash or glaze basically over them later on, and for that I'm gonna use a purple from once it's dried from the contrast range, so the Magos purple it's called. And that's basically almost the wings. The only thing left on the wings is basically the little claws. And for those I'm just gonna use the bleached bone and start out with a dark brown actually before I do that. And for the brown, I usually start out with a heavy sienna brown, so let's do that. And it's basically just the claws on her wings, so we just need very little paint. My bar wrench is funny. Yeah. Yeah, try that out. I added it so people can keep themselves busy a bit. And I love these old storytelling RPG books. Who remembers those from Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone? So the guys who founded GW, actually, they did a lot of those back in the day. I had a lot in German, actually. And yeah, this like choice things. You can just select different things. Very fantastic. I was thinking about doing something like that for the stream, but it's just so much work to set that up. So we have a brown on the claws now, so that needs to dry, and then we'll just add the bleached bone on her. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna show you how we continue with that. So with the red, it's kind of tricky to get a bit more effect there. So we're just gonna add, after the mix of a different contrast paints, we're just gonna add a whole layer of yellow on top of that. And brush, there you go, brush. And with the contrast paints in general, it's important to remember these things are not water-based, so you don't want to use them on a wet palette. You want to use them on a normal palette, and where we have some dirt. Okay, it's not tragic. So you want to have a wet brush, but like dry it off again, almost dry. So just that it has some flexibility again. So we can already see the yellow is bringing out a bit more of the contrast actually there, of a different paint we have there, of the red and the yellow mix we have there. So this is the step for the red here now. So we're doing that. You see the radar lines are getting a bit yellowish as well, which is the effect we actually want to have. And so I'm gonna do that on the other ones as well, because I want to keep these to take some pictures for you guys and put that into like an instruction set, probably into an Instagram post or Instagram story. And yeah, let me know what you think about that. Is this in total something that's interesting to you, what I'm doing here, or are you okay, I'm just here because it's a charity stream and that weird guy there doing some shit with a basis, I'm not interested or whatever. Yeah. Any feedback I really appreciate. Even if you don't like something, tell me that, because then I can take it in consideration. And yeah. Casos, that's actually, hast du versucht, es ein- und auszuschalten? Yeah, I'm like really thankful for you guys. So we're gonna let these two dry and keep the other two for the step before. So we'll be able to do like a little story thing about that. So you can see, you can actually later on Instagram I'll post that, so you have a proper step-by-step setting if you want to reproduce what I'm doing here. Okay. Let's get back to her, and I actually can show you her little sister model I painted up the other day. I still need to glue her completely. So that's her in her mermaid version I did. Let me see. There's a nicer pic on Instagram. She ran out a bit of a proper glue. Yeah. So she's got kind of an Ariel look, and that's her base. Yeah. And if you want to see her how she's built, it's on the Instagram feed. So if you scroll down, there's a little panel with my Instagram stuff, so you don't need to switch over to Instagram. You can just scroll in there. I think it should still be visible there. It's only the last few pictures. And yeah, let's continue on her sister. So she's the sci-fi variant, and she's actually the mermaid variation. There's a few of those. These both are done by Aeronautica, if I'm not completely mistaken, and they're Reaper miniatures. So if you go to Reaper and search for Sophie, you get them. Like, they're supposed to be limited, but I haven't seen any of them run out of production yet. I don't know how many they make, but they're yearly miniatures. It's their mascot, and they're really beautiful. I mean, Reaper in general is a really nice miniature producer, and yeah. I think we're just gonna put a wash on her hair now, and I have to think a bit. I think we're gonna go with Militarum Green. It's a bit dark. Or let's do a Warp Lightning Green. So let's do a really vibrant green. And we're gonna highlight her up again after that. Actually, so we're gonna use this basically as a glaze. Basically, if you want to start working with glazes and washes, the contrast paints are very, very easy to do that. And they save you time, even if you already work with them. With glazes and washes, the contrast paints are really, really good option to speed that process up. And the trick is try to not paint over parts where you already put on contrast paint. And play around with them, because the contrast paints, some of them behave different than others. So you might want to test out a bit if you want to go with a lot of paint, if you want to go with a very little of paint. It depends a bit on the effect and the stuff you're doing, and on which part of a miniature you're doing it, if you get what I'm meaning. I think that's an ear actually, so we have to go back to that ear thing. But that's not that bad. That's okay. That's the other thing I tell people. Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen to everybody, and you can always correct stuff. And if you're completely unhappy, you can't throw it into IPA, or if it's metal, in acetone or whatever. And yeah, that's a green for now. Let's see if we can show that a bit better. I'm trying to get that. So that's the hair at the moment. I think it works quite well with the purple actually. Ooh, $270 US, 30 years ago. Okay, I don't want to know what that's nowadays. I know trains can be very expensive. I have a few friends who are into the model train. I usually do in Germany. It's usually N scale, but more HO scale. So the H0 scale. That's the main scale in Germany, I think. Yeah, bye Mel, and thanks again, and yeah, thanks for your support and being here. It's much appreciated. Yeah, and yeah, I work in IT as well. Usually, at the moment not. I usually do customer success management. And, I used to do a lot of techie stuff as well, and marketing. And I did try out sales, but that was too boring for me. Sorry if I offend any salespeople. It was just not me. It's not devaluating anything there. It was just like... I was actually good at sales, but it just was not something I enjoyed doing. And yeah, I'm doing the claws on her wings now. Slowly getting there. I don't think I'm gonna finish her on stream, to be honest. I mean, like, if you've seen the guys before, Orchrist with the pig, I mean, like, he painted so freaking fast, and the pig looked amazing. So check that out if you weren't there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a few went bust with the companies there with those model scales. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here a bit as well. CS with some XP with game design and IT would be great on a resume for teaching. Yeah. Yeah, retail, I think it depends what you're doing. If you're like in one of these pushy roles where you just have to meet a quota, that's annoying. If you actually can work with people, so if you're more like in a personal shopping experience, I think it can be nice. But for me, yeah, retail is definitely for young people. I couldn't do that. Like, I'm honest, I couldn't do retail. I used to work in security. I did private contracting security, but I also did like the typical security jobs. Actually, at a sports stadium in Germany, in Bremen, I worked there. At Werder Bremen, it's the local soccer club. Oh god, yeah, Karens. But you have those in tech support. You have Karens everywhere. There, you have them everywhere. You can't get rid of them. They're everywhere, especially nowadays. So I think we're gonna put a bit of slightly lighter red on some parts of her buttocks. Let's highlight a few elevated parts. Slowly working our way through her. And yeah, I'm actually gonna put a bit of a wash on her skin. Let's see if I find the right one. Yeah, I usually use Fire Slayer Flash for these kind of things for skin. I'm gonna highlight her up again later on through. I'm not a fan of a Gilliman Flash. I think it's a bit too reddish. I thought the Fire Slayer Flash would be too reddish, but actually... And what I usually do, I don't know if I still have some, is actually I thin this down with a glaze a bit. I started to run out of the glaze. Or of the medium, basically. Not glaze, medium. So it's a bit thinner when it comes out of the bottle. And I'm just gonna put a very thin layer on her skin parts. Yikes. Should put green on her fingers somehow now. Okay. Oh well. Again, mistakes happen. Don't be afraid making mistakes, guys. That's how we learn. I hope you can see a little bit what I'm doing here, because it's like in kind of hidden parts. So we're gonna highlight her skin with the same skin tone we use up again once this is dried. Oh my god, you're so busy in the chat. Okay, so let's okay. Riva Rossi brand. No, sorry, doesn't ring a bell. Yeah, most retailers are so pushy even in the management roles. Everyone wants you to sell. Yeah, I know. I had a few friends working for Games Workshop in the stores. Some are very happy and they're very good at their job, but those are usually the people who don't follow the advice from Games Workshop, so they don't use the Games Workshop technique. They have just the right personality to make the sales. Yeah. I mean, respect to teachers, anybody who's in healthcare, anybody who's in basically doing the stuff that is actually necessary to keep society going, much more important than the IT stuff I do. So what do we have? Grocery retail for the first 13 years. Karen's. Oh my god, yeah. I feel so sorry for you now. I'm try always to be friendly, and I had like actually yesterday morning when I went to the Lidl, I did some shopping before our board game night, which we had yesterday, and she had some issues because I was buying a lottery ticket for the Euro Millions because there's 55 million in there. I'm not gonna win, but hey, you gotta try, you know. And the machine wasn't working, and she was like, you notice the girl where she was not that long there, and she got afraid actually, like, because there was a line and I was waiting, the machine wasn't working, and she had to call her colleague, and when that wasn't working, and she had to go, then she had to call the manager to put the code into the cashier so she could reset, and they had to first pay my last lottery ticket, which was like 10 euros out, and then give me the money, and then I had to buy the new lottery ticket because the machine couldn't like there do like just an exchange. And she, you know, she was just so sorry about that, but also very afraid that I would be impatient. I was like, well, don't worry. I mean, it's a machine. It's not you. You're not. It's okay. Just, it's completely fine. And that's what I try to do, because like most people are just doing their job as well, and I couldn't go shopping without them. And you have to be thankful for that. And a lot of people just treat these the people in retail, in cleaning, in whatever, all these kind of service jobs. It's the same with the couriers. We're just treated so badly, but like it's stuff we all like need to have done. But basically, for us, it wouldn't be feasible to do it ourselves. So we should be thankful. We shouldn't like look down on these people. I hate if that happens. Like, I was at every job, I always made sure I got directly on a good standing with everybody working there, cleaning, facility management, the secretaries, everybody. I introduce myself, I say hello to everybody, and like when I need something, my stuff gets done immediately. I had colleagues waiting 6 weeks to have something done, and they were still waiting, and I put a ticket in, and 6 hours later, 3 of the facility guys showed up and got me a new desk, and they were like, oh yeah, no, it's you, so we do it right away, everybody else can wait. That's it. So like, if you're friendly, you get treated friendly. So, and I always tell that to everybody, if you have to call in a call center as well about something, be friendly. The people there, they're not there to hurt you, they just want to have a nice job experience as well. Yeah, so rant over. Let's get back to the chat. Video game store into women's wear. Okay, Victoria's Secret to Macy to grocery store. Yeah, okay, gotcha. That's not too bad. Not even mostly went to school in between. Didn't work out. We're collecting money for. Yeah, okay. Did awesome school economy time. Yeah, economy is. Yeah. Just kind of IT is a backbone. Yeah, I mean, like, it depends. I mean, like, yes, IT is very helpful, and I work in the software as a service, platform as a service, all these kind of things. All that's what I do, and I make sure that it actually works, and I train people as part of the job, and I analyze how they use these products, and then get back to the product development and sales and whatnot. But yeah, I think, I mean, it is a job where you need to know things, but I don't think it's as important as something like in healthcare or these kind of things. And I hate if people put a value on what you do. As long as you do something or try to do something, it's all good in my mind. Yep. Yeah, and I try to appreciate people in these kind of roles. So yeah, the wash is pretty much dry. So what I'm actually doing now is I'm gonna take some of a wash and mix that up a bit with the skin paint we used before, so it doesn't get too bright immediately. So I'm just gonna put that here a bit. As well. And that's basically the skin. So I'm gonna do the eyes later on, and I do the eyes basically, I put in first the color of the iris section, then I put in 1 or 2 white dots depending on where I want the pupils to look towards. I'm not good at eye painting, but I get decent looking results with that method. Hey Forbes, welcome back. We're still going strong here, and I think everybody is still psyched. And yeah, already. Okay, so yeah, guys, don't forget to enter the giveaway. Exclamation mark kidney fund. I'm getting tired. There's not that many people yet in it, and we're gonna do the draw in roughly 30 minutes. And if my mouse decides to work, I'm gonna read out who is in the giveaway at the moment. So I have Alpha Gigi, Enzig 138, Beef in the Hole, Big J Customs, Chuvy MP, Draco 5151. Forbes, you're in the giveaway as well. Kaoshin DE is in the giveaway. Caro WS _9. KSauce 01. Lady B Miniatures. Matty the First. Mel _ite. I have NG Lamunes, Neon Cat, Osco Times, Painted Troll, Reiner 72, and yeah, that's everybody so far. So the chance is really good. So and it's a lot of nice stuff you can win. So, and it's completely free. But don't forget why we're doing this. We're doing this for Forbes, who's suffering from kidneys, and he needs a live donor, and he needs to cover the cost for the live donor, basically because the insurance is not covering everything. Correct me if I'm wrong, Forbes, but yeah, I don't know how to. If you win, I'll just pull somebody else, I guess. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I marked you as so you're not in the giveaway any longer. So we figured that out. Yay! But yeah, I mean, trust me, there's issues with other healthcare systems as well. It's not only in the US, but yeah. Yeah, guys, go enter into the giveaway! ! Kidney fund. And yeah, if you can spare $1 or $2 or euro or 2 or pound or 2 or whatever your local currency is, there's a possibility to send that money via Facebook, and it's also there via PayPal, and you can just find how it's done via !charity. That gives you the instructions. And I really need to drink something because my voice is otherwise gonna die off. K-Rune, okay, I'll try to remember that. One PayPal donation, okay. Yeah, I think basically Holly and Orchrist basically emptied everybody's wallet. I put my donation into their stream as well. Yeah. Yeah. But I send mine via Facebook actually, so that's there. So I'm gonna highlight the green hair a bit more again. So I'm gonna use the slightly military green again a bit there, because I think that gives a nice contrast. Yeah, it looks, I'm happy with that. Okay. Yeah, and we also have 15% off for nerdhouseminis.com during the 48 hours. So if you want to treat yourself to something, I think we're gonna put everything they make from that into the donation fund as well. Yeah, feel free to play around with the bar. There is a few things you might get served, but you have to find those out yourself. Not gonna spoil that. have somebody following. Let's see who we have. Okay, it's not showing me that. I don't know. Oh, Gridloxis is hosting the stream. Wow. Thanks for the host, Gridloxis. And raid as well. Oh my god. Raiding with 8 and hosting for 5. That's lovely. Thank you so much. For everybody who's joining now, we're doing a charity stream for 4Bys to help him collect money for his life donor costs. So like travel costs, loss of income, childcare, these kind of things which are not covered by the insurances for a kidney donation. And Ian Cat is posting the information already. Thanks for that. And don't forget, if you just joined, we have giveaways. So you can enter them for free. That's anything you have to do. And that goes via ! kidney fund. Yeah, I'm not a fan of American whiskies. I mean, I live in Ireland, so you have to forgive me for that. I mean, I'm sure there are some, but like Jim Beam, oh my god, no. No, I wouldn't even put that in my Coke. And yeah, let's do a bit more red on the bottom here. And I'm gonna do a bit, not too much. Getting there slowly, but we're getting there. And yeah, if you want drinks, ! Drinks. So yeah, let's do a bit of wash on the claws. I'm gonna highlight them again, but just with a very sparse. I can actually do the wash on the wings in general as well to finish those a bit. Yeah, I mean, you're very good doing that, Forbes. I mean, to be honest, I think you will have other things incurring afterwards. So, in my opinion, it's really good of you to do that, but there's always some kind of surprise cost. So, like, again, I mean, you're an amazing person, and anyway, we can help. I'm happy to do that, and like I said, I'm honored to be allowed to be a part of this. And I really find this is an amazing community for doing these kind of things. So, like again, I'm thankful to be allowed to join in that. And I wish you all the best there. And if there's anything else we can do, don't hesitate to ask. I mean, we're a community. And we need to, just in general with other human beings, we need to help each other. We need to take care of each other. Because that's what makes us human. In my opinion. Yeah. It's a fantastic string from Captain Madlove to organize this. And that's really lovely to do. And like I said, I hope we can do charity stuff in the future again as a community, but I hope as well that we don't have to do this, because I don't wish what you're going through on anybody. So it's kind of a weird wish, to be honest, but yeah. So we did the highlight and the toning down on her wings, and then the glaze is basically just bringing that together and taking the hard overlays out of that. So the wings are pretty much finished. The claws are almost finished. The pants is almost finished. I'm gonna put a red wash on that as well again. The hair is almost finished. I might do another thing on that. The skin is almost finished. And yeah, the sticky stuff is starting to decide not to be gluey again any longer. So there we go. Yeah, so we'll continue a bit on that, and let's see. Yeah, we have for 42 minutes to go still before we're gonna hand this over. And yeah, we have two bots here actually. I usually use the Stream Elements bot, the night bot I have for the giveaway. And yeah, guys, if you paint something at the moment, if you work on something creative, yeah, where you found something you can actually get to drink. Yeah, that's good that you have that. That's really good. I'm glad to hear that actually. So I know I have a lot of friends in the US actually, like personal friends, not only online, and I know these things can be basically, how do you say, back-breaking cost-wise, and yeah. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to be quite covered health insurance-wise, at least with the standard things, but it's not everybody's as lucky. And yeah, guys, feel free to share things. If you work on anything creative, share that. The links are open. If you have an Instagram account, share that Instagram account. If you stream yourself, share that as well. You can shout out anybody else as well. Like, just keep it safe for work, yeah. Yeah, the violin is amazing. Like, favorite Phoenix's stuff. If you haven't seen that, check that out. It's like freaking fantastic, especially if you like anime. I mean, it's like what she does is fantastic. If there's any other thing I would have liked to really have, except the frost giant from the captain, it would be the violin, but I'm not participating. I would feel bad if I would win something. But that thing is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, and she's so creative. Yeah, there we go. I don't know, OBS just crashed. I just decided to be a BITCHS. I don't know if there's anybody. Yeah. Let's hope it keeps working. Yeah. That's fun with IT. Yeah, I hope you didn't miss too much what I was saying. Yeah, I have an ex-wife as well. But she wasn't reversed. I have an ex-fiance and she tried to kill me and herself. And then I kicked her out. So, yeah. Ex-wives can be very, very annoying. Let's say it like that. Just gonna put a bit more wash here. So I think the hair is pretty much done as well. I think I'm gonna give her red eyes. So it's gonna be a bit tricky. I'm not good with eyes. Like I said, I start actually with the color of the pupil, and I'm actually gonna take off the glasses, so built-in zoom. And I'm usually going with a pupil color, and then I just add white dots for the eyeballs, and actually via that I'm managing also where she's gonna look towards. Looking at the stream again in a moment. Yeah, it worked actually quite well so far. I'm gonna try to show it to you guys as well. So I'm gonna zoom in and let's try to get that. Okay, maybe if you do it like this. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so we got the red into the eye parts. So what I'm after that gonna do is actually put white into the sides of the eyes, and via that basically create the eyeball, and then that makes it easier for me to have her not needing glasses to have a straight view. Depends on which. Yeah, no, song queue doesn't work because of the whole DRM stuff. So what I have running is a list actually with DRM free music via Spotify. Yeah, I have some issues with parcels as well. I have some guy in Germany waiting 3 months for a parcel. I sent like 2.5 months something to Holly Monster, which hasn't arrived yet. There's another parcel for like 2 weeks now, stuck somewhere. I waited for some parcels from the UK for 8 weeks, which usually take at most a week, usually 2-3 days to Ireland. So I've given up to be annoyed by it, let's say it like that. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is I actually want to have a bit of neon fluorescence in my hair. So we're gonna go with a bit of a neon color from the Mecha color range. Very little. And that stuff is not really covering, so it works actually at best on white, but I use it sometimes for like making glowy highlights and stuff. And it's basically like a glaze if you put it on anything else that's not white. So we're basically gonna glaze her hair with it. And don't worry about the milky look. That's basically the medium. It's gonna dry off. And we get like a slight neon result with her hair. So it's again a paint I'm using, definitely not as intended by the manufacturer, but that's all. That's the whole miniature painting is about: trying out things, doing stuff. And yeah. I think you can see a little bit that the hair is gonna be a bit more greenish. I think we're gonna put a final red highlight on the pants now. Guys, I think we're getting close to the raffle. I'm gonna do that once the captain and the geek are back. So don't forget to enter into that. And yeah, she looks a bit like the Joker. Actually, that was completely not intended, but yeah, you're absolutely right. The color scheme is definitely Joker-esque. Well, that happens. Lucky accident, I guess. I mean, like the other one looks like Ariel, and I didn't intend to do that. So, but that's basically you have certain inspiration and things in your head, and that is always once you're creative, you're basically drawing from the stuff you have seen over your life. It's the same with writing. There's actually, if you write, there's something called the intertextual space, which is basically saying that any text that has ever written influences every text that ever will gonna be written, because somebody read it and wrote something else. So that text is like influenced by another text, which influenced maybe another text. So you don't even have to know the text that's influencing you, but as long as you read something that was influenced by that text, and the influence stems from actually somebody reading that text. So that's, and I think it's very similar with art and with miniatures. And I don't think that's a bad thing to be inspired by other things. I'm just thinking about how and which color to do her armor parts. I mean, that's still to do. I still need to do the base and her boots. I think I'm just gonna go with black on the boots, to be honest. I definitely want to do something with the gun. I don't want to keep it metal. That's definitely not the intention. Yeah. I mean, like, they're very busy, but I think they will show up. I mean, like, if at worst, we're just gonna do the raffle at like in 20 minutes before we hand over the stream. Yeah. Liza is really good. So if you're German and want to follow somebody about writing, go check out Liza. She's really good, and she's a really, really lovely person as well. And she writes great fantasy novels in German. But yeah. And she has a really cool German Discord as well. If you're into Harry Potter, that is, you need to have a favor for Harry Potter. Yeah, Ayn Rand is interesting. I mean, I'm in my heart, I'm liberal, but I think certain things need to be done by the state after all. But as much as possible, but as little as possible. So as much as needed, as little as possible, basically. So I do think healthcare should be publicly done. I think security should be publicly done. Safety, traffic and communication infrastructure should be done centrally. Everything else, I think, should be fair game. But to be honest, we don't have enough productive work any longer for everybody, and it is getting less because there's a lot of automation happening. And yeah, I mean, this change is happening. I think Corona is expeding the speed on that quite a bit, actually. But yeah, Ayn Rand is a good read. I also enjoy what's his name, Milton Keynes. And Mark Anthony's Meditations. That's a good read as well if you're into philosophy. Personally, I also like the Bushido and basically the Hagakure and the Hagakure 2, which are, if you're into Shintoism and the Japanese and Middle Eastern philosophies there, which were influenced by that actually quite a bit, is quite interesting as well. Oh, yeah, feel free to share that stuff as well. I mean, I write sometimes as well. I have a first chapter of a book I started on my blog, if you want to check that out. At the moment, I'm not writing on that. I should actually, and I have another idea that I'm toying around with for a novel, which at some point I'm gonna publish those on Amazon, but that's way off. At the moment, I'm mainly writing German lyrics, so I don't think that's something for this stream tonight. But I've had some quite positive feedback on that from people. So if you're interested in that, I have a post on Instagram with 2 of those poems, basically. So they're in German. So if you want to check that out, do feel free. I'd love to have feedback on that, actually. Yeah, Sun Tzu is very good as well, yeah. Yeah, try, and you can always strip the miniature. Especially metal miniatures are really easy to strip, and everything else you can just throw into isopropyl alcohol and strip if you don't like it. Personally, I would advise get some cheap miniatures to start and paint like 10 of them. And once you have a feeling, get a miniature you really like and want to paint as kind of a... Oh god, can't remember the English word for it. Reward. That's the one. Yeah, get that one as a reward and try to paint some Space Marines or some cheap stuff like the Snap Fit models from GW. They do fantasy ones as well. And I mean, don't compare yourself with people doing this for like years and years. I mean, like, there's people who are way better than I am, but I'm already doing this 26 years. And so that's, don't get frustrated if your results don't look like people who are in years into this and have. I mean, like, I literally have about 1,000 paint bottles here. Yeah, I have several different ranges of paints here. And that's something that costs money. I have brushes for, like, I have a real collection of brushes. These kind of things, that's all that's gonna come with time. Just get a few paints, get a few cheap plastic models, start out with them, paint 5 to 10 up of those, and then get a really nice miniature you want to paint as a reward, and then paint that one. That's my advice. Yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna put some black on the boots now. And again, with the black, I usually go with a heavy charcoal, and then I put actually a black wash over that. And you can actually go with a normal black, like the Chaos Black from GW, or the normal black from the Vallejo Rangers, and darken down things. So this one is a very grayish black. It's literally a charcoal black. That's a good basis for black, in my opinion, at least. And what does the time say? Yeah, no worries. Feel free to ask. I mean, that's what we're here for. That's why I'm doing this. It's like interact with the community, and for me, it's a motivation to paint. Actually, it helps me. In general, the painting community on Twitch is like one of the most friendly and amazing communities I've met anywhere. Like I said, I'm really thankful to be a part of this community and of this event specifically. And a main tip I can give you with painting in general and anything creative: just do it, and don't I mean, like, get advice from other people, but also build your own. We forget some red here, but it's not that tragic. As long as you're happy, as long as you have fun with your hobby, all is good. And anybody, basically, let's say it like it is, shitting on your stuff just because you're new or building up expectations, doesn't deserve being able to see your things. And just like, be happy, do your thing. I mean, collect advice, ask other people if you want. The captain is back. Yeah, no, I was waiting for you guys to come back, so let's do that now. So let's roll it. Rainer 72 won. I think he raided and ran. So let's wait a moment. Maybe he's back. Yeah, I mean, I think Holly exhausted everybody. But yeah, I mean, we've been mentioning it a lot. So we'll leave her for now, and I'm just gonna show you the last part now of the bases, how I do the glowy stuff. So need to do the radar itself first. Okay, then we need to pull somebody else. Yeah. So, should I pull somebody new? Should we do basically a new raffle thing? Let me know. I'm not sure what the modus operandi is. Just re-roll. Okay, I think we can do that. Mel Eit. I don't know. She definitely was here, but I think she went to bed as well. Let's see if she's still here. Yeah, she's here. She replied. Yeah, congratulations. Well done. Well done. Yeah, I put my donation into Holly's stream, so oh well. Congratulations. And Zenos Hunter, welcome to the stream. How are you? And yeah, we're doing a charity stream for 4x to help him collect money to have a better chance at a live donor for his kidney. And anybody who joined, you can give money on Facebook or on PayPal, and any help is appreciated. Anything you can spare. Yeah, the violin is amazing. Yeah, so back to the bases. So I basically added now the radar stripes and blips and put the paint here on the A. So the only thing left to do is the gloss varnish. So I'll let this one dry for a moment, and we do the other one which we have at this state as well, so you can later see the difference there as well. And this one I'm gonna use for the Astra Militarum, so basically for the Vendettas and Valkyries, so they get this kind of base. I use basically what I do for my Aeronautica is I use the same method to paint all the bases, and that gives them like a similar look, but I use different paints, different colors basically. Perfection, and that's that. Oh well, that happens, Samurai Jack. I wish I would be able to enter in these things as well. Some of the stuff was really amazing, like pretty much everything. But like the violin and the frost giant from the captain, oh my god. And yeah, I think the violin is not to be played, but a decorative piece, to be honest. So just a really lovely piece of art. Okay, so that's basically every step up until, and I use the gloss varnish from the Vallejo game color range, which is much more glossy than, in example, ones from the model the mecha color range even, and that's why I use this one. And I don't use the good brushes for that. I use my normal brushes, my Da Vinci brushes, basically. And the only thing left to do is basically put the gloss varnish, not too much, not too little, but a good amount here, and just pay attention that you get it into all the corners of every part here. And that's basically how I do these bases. And once the gloss varnish is dried, which actually goes fairly quick, and you see it brings out the vibrance of the colors. So that will actually add a bit there. Red is tricky to get different changes on. That's why it went with yellow for the orc flyer bases actually. But this is the method, and you can do that with different paints and different colors and stuff. That's how you do decent bases so far. I mean, the rest is basically just like select a color for in here, paint the buttons up a bit, and do metal. I think everybody can figure that part out, but this is the way how to do the radar dishes. And you can use that method for other things as well. Like, it doesn't only work on the radar dishes, but that's it. So that's how you do those bases. Please do, Mel, please do if you want. We sure appreciate it, and I won't feel that bad with the amount I gathered with my stream, so I'd really appreciate that if you want. But by no means, I mean, like, it's up to you. Oh wow. If you want to do that, I'd say let's do that for the next streamer, because we're gonna hand over in 10 minutes, and I actually need to check up who that was, because I knew it, but I forgot it. Let's check. I'll be right back with you guys. I'm just gonna check again so I don't do anything wrong. So we're gonna hand over to Osgold Times once he's ready for that. Yeah. I'm just reading up on the chat, guys. You're so chatty. My God. Yeah, and we see the varnish drying a bit here. And yeah. If you have any questions about that, feel free to hit me up. I'm gonna put a step-by-step on Instagram for that as well, so you guys can check that out. Obviously, you can re-watch the stream. I record my streams, so they're gonna be in the archive on Twitch and on my YouTube channel, so if you want to check anything up. And Mel, yeah, really take it Yes, you have a question, Captain. Feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer if I can. On Twitch before this morning about 100. And on Instagram it's about 400, or at least it was about 410, 415 before this stream. I don't know how many it's now. And now it's 134. The bar is wrong. But yeah, we're gonna do the raffle for that as well. But I want to do that for everybody who's following. So. But we can raffle that off now as well. That's completely fine with me as well. Okay, if you're sure. Okay. Yeah, guys, thank you as well for being there, and thank you everybody who donated something, even if it was just a little. We really appreciate that. I appreciate that, and again, thanks for letting me be a part here. I really appreciate that, and I think we can go and raid Osgold now. Yeah, no worries, happy to do that. So let's see. I think he's online because we're overlapping a bit, so I'm just gonna put the raid there together. And yeah, happy to hear that. Okay, so I think it's just Osgold, right? Ozgold, right? And yeah, I'm honored to be a part of that forward. Like I said, I mean, happy. I'm really happy to be part of this, and yeah, I mean, I wish it would have been a bit more money from the stream, but yeah, I'm small. I'm small. That's why I picked this time, because I thought there's not many people there anyways, and I can just keep it going. Okay. Osgold times. Okay. So is it Osgold or Osgold times? Sorry, I'm like confused now. I'm just gonna check. Osgold times. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So let's go. And again, guys, thanks for joining me, and thanks for being here. It was an amazing experience. Take care.
Nice. Keep those donations coming in. My God, jinxed. I'm losing my mind right now.